Hey, how y'all doing, man? Uh, Turn that down. I'm up here relaxing. But look, I guess I got a call that Phenom had died today. Unfortunately, what's going on, y'all? How everybody doing, man? And I tell you what, first and foremost, what's going on, Mr. Frazier? What's going on, Mr. Vang? Now, I say this. Alicia Keys singing, I can't concentrate. I love her. What's going on, John? But unfortunately, like I say, anytime you lose a dog, Mr. Brown, what's going on, baby? I don't ever wish for anybody to lose their dog or to go through any kind of issues with their dog or whatever. Nah, I actually, man, every time I've come to Texas, even if I venture out of my own areas, my allergies kill me. It's like, I don't know, I got some local honey, so we'll see how that works. But, I'm gonna try to stick to the topic. We'll see how that works. But, this is a problem. I feel bad for his owner. I feel bad for anybody that loses their dogs. But at the same time, I still feel bad for the dog community. Don't click that down. Because we've yet to really truly understand exactly hey, you know what? I gotta check that out. You're right, I gotta check that out. I just watched the one game and I got sidetracked with all these calls about this. Good luck to the Cowboys. I'm with you tonight. Zeke. But I missed a nasty injury. I'm glad I did. I'm sure I'll see it. But I've asked this question every time they tell me that Dak's dogs have passed away. How alarming is it, you know what I mean, to our community that we have all these dogs that can't live past 5 years? I did this video, what's going on, American Bully Mini? Lion Pitts, what's up? I did this, I've done this several times, and people take it the wrong way. It's not about preference, but it's about facts. And this is another dog that to me should have been in his prime, and now he's gone. And with that being said, we have a serious problem that we continue, I mean, I don't know, maybe he was closest. I don't know if he was, what, 6? I don't know if he was 7 or 6, but that's still young, And I think he was, I don't know if he was quite 7, but, because Dax has been going a couple years, and Dax wasn't even 7 when he died. So, but either way you look at it, I'm not comparing everybody to my dogs, but I'm saying that these dogs in this community should live a decade. It's a problem, and we make it so many excuses for these dogs that when you see these dogs that are 5, 6, even 7 years old and they're checking out, and definitely way younger than that, we have a problem. These are not Mastiffs. Even Great Dane breeders want their dogs to, yeah, what's going on, Brian? Even Mastiff breeders want their dogs to live past that 7 or 8, but they're so big, and a lot of times the heart issues that come with big dogs, they don't make it. But for us to be seriously breeding some dogs that are 50 to 75 pounds normally, and I'm talking about the pockets, they, to die, yeah, Dax was, Dax probably was bred at 6 months. But, to see these dogs dying at such a young age, and, I'm going to be the Scrooge McDuck of the day, What's going on, Oscar? Shout out to Lima, Peru. You know, my pronunciation of everything is terrible, but you know, for us to constantly see these dogs dying the way that we see these dogs dying, for us to constantly ignore confirmation, for us to constantly ignore health, and then at the same time call ourselves breeders is laughable. It's sad and it's sickening, and we have to do better. This is not to take a shot at Phenom himself or his owner. This is for us to, we need to pull back the blinds that are covering up our eyes. What's going on, Kyle? And look at the fact that our dogs can't live long. It's something to be said about that, you know? It's something to be said about the fact, Empire, what's going on? That our dogs are dying, man, at an alarmingly young age. Yo, excuse me. And, you know, we've seen a trend with the Dax dogs that most of them don't live long. We've seen a trend throughout our whole community that certain dogs don't live long, and we don't care. We continue to breed to these bloods, even knowing the issue with the bloods. We go even further, and we believe that we can fix this. The only way to truly get our breeds to where they need to be at is to start taking this thing seriously. The community has a serious problem with genetics. You know, a lot of us do have dogs with Dax blood in them and other bloods in them that have proven to have weaker hearts, weaker cardiovascular systems, you know, passing on heart murmurs and other issues. yeah. But Grant, this is my problem, and that proves to me right there. What you just did proves to me one of the biggest problems in our community. You want to tell me Lucky is still living? That's a problem. The simple fact that we got to point out, I like Lucky, by the way. I think he has one of the best fronts in American bully history. But the fact that we have to pick out one dog with a dog that had over 3,000 puppies and say, oh, he's still living, that tells you that we have a problem. The fact that we have to find a dog to say he's still living. Now, I will go to my dogs, and it's not a competition, but I will say Denzel probably has all kind of different things, you know, out there with dogs that are close to his age. When we start breeding him at a young age, you know what I mean, which was 18 months, Denzel now has sons that are approaching 9 years old. You know, he has sons that are 8 years old. You know, Little Ro, which is, you know, heavily influenced in his blood, Little Ro lived to be like 15 or 16 years old. This is genetics, you know. Several other dogs with longer lifespans. Bullmaster, yes, Bullmaster is still alive and doing well. A lot of the older dogs are doing well. Somebody asked me about old Dayton up there at Illinois Kennels. His boy lived to be 18 years old. This is what we shoot for. We don't make excuses and say, oh, one dog. If you are a true breeder, you have to analyze the blood. People think that it's like a hating thing. You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate it, Rio. People look at it like, yep, exactly. Yeah, bull is old as shit. But, you know, it's not a hating thing. This is a factual thing. Sometimes when we start pointing out the facts of our breed and the facts of the way that we see the breed either taking a downturn or an upturn, that, you know, if it's not in your favor, it's hating. It's not. If Dax would have been a great confirmation dog, if Dax would have been a great health dog, I would have been the first one that appreciated, Billy. Much love, bro. I would have been the first one to say that this was a great dog, you know? It's not, you know? A lot of the dogs that are out there right now just aren't great health dogs. And if we are calling ourselves breeders, you know, let's just say screw all the confirmation stuff. Screw all the ribbons and everything. The very first part that you start at as an animal breeder, not just a dog breeder, is longevity and health. This is the #1 thing, and we're ignoring it. We are not even getting proper knowledge to make sure that dogs don't have heart issues. You know, it is a lot of hey Brown, that old blood lives, man. It's a lot of dogs out there, you know what I mean, that seriously people are breeding and they know that they're passing on heart issues, visual issues, all of these issues, and we don't care, you know? Well, Shamrock, this is my thing about Shamrock. I think Shamrock is one of those dogs, point blank, that if you look at him, he excites you. Even me, after 20 plus years, when I look at Shamrock, he's an exciting dog. You know, to the naked eye, he's an exciting dog. Now, if you just ask me, did I like Shamrock? I like to look at him. But if I'm in the judge's shoes and I have to judge Shamrock, it becomes differently. It's issues that I will point out and say that. That's just like, I guess case in point, when it comes to women. We might look at a woman and say, hey, she's cute, I'll date her. But, could she win certain, pageants or contests? No. It's levels to this shit. Shamrock is that way. He's not a good confirmation dog. Shamrock has won off of wow factor and what people like. If anybody was being reasonable about what they were judging when they look at a dog like Shamrock, it is many issues, much like Rocco, that you can point out where this dog shouldn't be winning shows. But because we are in the business of selling dogs and not in the business of creating better dogs, that we allow the dogs that are popular that will help us sell to take home ribbons, Man, the wings, man. I'm gonna be getting me some wings tomorrow. I appreciate you listening. Now the thing of it is that, well, I'll tell you the truth. You should be a judge before you're a breeder, because you're judging your own yard. You never get to a point to where you stop being a judge and you stop educating yourself on the health of the animals, on the health of whatever, many times throughout this thing, people have gotten to the point to where it's all about so-called business and a brand and everything, and people don't even understand the brand. People don't even understand blood. People don't even understand bloodline. People will buy 2 or 3 dogs from people and say that they have a bloodline. You know what I mean? You don't have a bloodline. You don't even, it's a lot of studying that goes into being a breeder. As I've said, if I was building a dog, the thing that I would do about building a dog, it would be like this. You know what I mean? We start at the skeleton. If that skeleton is not right, it's like the foundation of a home. I don't care what pretty rooms you put in there, what kind of wood, what kind of everything. You always go back to strictly, first thing I do is I look at dogs. I don't even sometimes even care about breeding dogs no more because people are so hard to deal with. And I like the creative process for myself and for my friends and family and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, the bloods and the bloodlines and all this stuff, to me, what it boils down to is that people want credit. They want credit for everything. People want to establish a brand. Oh, this is my brand, or this is this, or this is that. And they haven't even established a proper foundation in their own yards. There's many breeders out here today that claim that they have a brand, but they can't even show you exactly what their dogs produce over and over again. And the reason why they're incapable of doing this is because they're picking from many different bloodlines, and they don't even have a true direction of their program. If you look through any breedings, and I'm going to use myself as an example so I can take the ridicule or pats on the back. But when you look at my program, if you look at every dog that I use, and this year it'll be Mufasa, it'll be Pumbaa, it'll be Mandela. I have one Denzel breeding. It'll be Remy. It'll be Hef. Those are my dogs for this year. If you look at these dogs, you look at their face, and these dogs all have the same type of face. They have similar blood. And there is different sizes there, but it's a reason for that, because this is basically phase 2 of a program that we're putting together to add certain features. In the next generation, we lock in size. I've been working on my blood now for 20 years. 20 years. And the one thing I can tell you about my blood is some of y'all, I appreciate the love and respect, but I would be a fool to sit here and tell y'all I haven't made mistakes throughout my program. One of the biggest mistakes I've made throughout my program is trying to make my dog small. You know what I mean? I fell in love with going into these pocket style dogs, and even with my education in veterinary medicine, I didn't recognize how bad that the dwarfism genes and the and the possible other issues that come along with these dogs could affect in the long run. What we did when we made pockets and we didn't want to admit it is that I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's getting hard for me to read. It's getting hard for me to read, but you know the thing of it is that you know, breeding down to the sizes that we wanted to, we added a bunch of genes that are very much toxic. I mean, and let's be realistic. I have friends that are little people, and they will tell you that being a little person and having to deal with dwarfism and the issues that come along with it, it's a lot of health issues. We chose to do this with dogs, and we wonder why these dogs have so many health issues and so much drama as far as keeping them healthy. It's something that as breeders and as people, we have to decide, you know, just for being a humanitarian and caring about what we do and having some compassion. Are we doing the right thing? We're breeding dwarfism and Down syndrome into these dogs at a heavy level and not caring about it. That's something that we have to get past. You know, me breeding small dogs was a big issue. I don't lie to y'all. I've bred a lot of smaller dogs, and I noticed more and more health issues with them. Some of my dogs were very healthy, but they started to get very small. I started noticing breeding problems to where my females wouldn't produce the way that they were supposed to produce. You know, you had little stuff that come up, and I noticed the smaller that they got, the more issues that they got. And fortunately, I was able to keep confirmation, but I didn't see the same level of health. You know what I mean? As far as generations, I'll say this. As far as generations, I'm up to my eighth generation overall, but they're not consistent 8 generations. That's why I don't consider myself a line. I don't want that pat on the back until I feel like that I've done the job that I need to do. And I feel like in order for you to have a line, you need to be putting dogs together, and you need to be showing the exact same looks and following your exact same traits to make a line. And when I say that, making a line is a lot like writing a standard for a registry. If you're writing a standard for a registry, you know a certain height, a certain weight, a certain look. This is what we're looking for. Inside your own yard, you have to do that. Included in that is a certain temperament, a certain lifespan, you know, health issues and stuff like that. Erase that as a line. This is why I say to this day, in my personal opinion, nobody has been actually, what's going on, Miguel? Actually successful at making a line. I think Oscar Gomez and Carlton Pratt are well on their way. I think that me and in the Hall of Fame family are well on our way. But if we're being realistic with ourselves, the traits that you know, until you lock in a certain look, and I can produce you the same dog over and over and over again, excuse me, I don't have a line. You know, I love Mandela's size. You know what I mean? I think, well, partnering is difficult. And the reason why partnering is difficult, I've had some good partners. I've been blessed to have some good partners. But I'll answer that. One of the hardest things to do is to have partners because you can't control people. You know, I mean, I'll be real. I've made mistakes, you know, throughout the dog game in different ways of trusting different people and things like that. And it's come back to bite me sometimes, and other times I've made lifelong friends. But the one thing that you have when you have a partner is it's just like having a friend or a life partner or whatever. You got to have some level of trust. And if y'all don't have the same vision, that's when it's time to break it off. When y'all don't do things that are according to each other. See, me and all of my brothers that are in the Hall of Fame, it's more family, and we do think alike as far as the dogs. And some of us have slightly different views, but as a family, we're always able to stay on the same course and be here for each other and love each other, you know. And those guys definitely are my brothers. But I think when you go into this, if you're partnering as a business, it's a bad mistake. If your idea is that this is going to be a business, Waffle House is beautiful, man. I like Waffle House. He got some of my blood in him, so I'm definitely cheering for him. Beautiful, and he's producing some nice dogs. But I tell you this, you know, if you partnering up with people because it's a business deal, it's a bad decision. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when it gets down to the nitty gritty on the business side, it's going to be an ethics situation. You're going to have people who feel like we should do things this way. because we can make a profit, and you're going to have other people to say this is our art and we're going to have to stick to it. The great thing about the whole Hall of Fame family, I tell you, is that they're all dog guys. And that's made it easy for us. Believe it or not, Hall of Fame top shelf family is actually, we're as a family, we're into this thing now about 17 years. The same people. We haven't really even had people leave. We've got the same people, and you know, we are all family, and we love each other, you know, and we're looking forward to. Actually, me and my other Danny, I always call Danny G the other Danny because everybody think I'm talking about Danny Navoa, but we're already talking about starting to plan our family vacations to where we all going, you know, no dogs, just family. And that was what started the, you know, that's what started what y'all see today is the American Bully movement. I can tell y'all that we used to fly to Jamaica. We used to go to White House, Jamaica, and we would stay there a week, and it was just a big group of, you know, we would take the couples, but we would always, you know, we would always come in together. And the best ideas and everything that you had is because you had a passion that wasn't anything about money. We would literally spend a week on beautiful beaches sipping, what was that, Appleton rum. And some people had their sticky icky, but we was, you know, we would be there. The ladies would go do their thing, and we would literally sit around, eat, and talk dogs, and talk about how we were going to build what y'all see today. When we started doing that, it was no such thing as an ABKC. And to be honest with you, it was no such thing at that point as an American Bully. Everything was starting to call that wacky tobacco. But yeah, everything was still called pit bulls, you know. And you know, through the ideas and the passion that people had, we created great at that time. When things start getting messed up and when our ethics drop is when money got involved. You know what I mean? Your money got involved. Well, right now I have to be in the spotlight, Fred. It's honestly, you know, people who really know me closely know I really don't like much attention. I do the videos because I feel like it's that shit that needs to be said. But for years, I always did. I like the dogs to do the talking. I'm a more private person, and I just preferred that. But right now, I feel like it's a responsibility to be a voice of the breed and to keep on counteracting a lot of what we're seeing. You know, if I keep my mouth shut, a lot of people would never know that certain dogs have big time heart issues and all of these things. You know, man, you go way back, and you know it's a passion. You know, I lose more money than I'll ever make in a lot of these endeavors with dogs. You know, hell, right now when I get off of here, I gotta click and send a wire for the website with the TBKC for some upgrades. That's for the community, you know. But I'm gonna stay on here another 7 minutes because it's time to go. But you know, ultimately, what I hope for this community is that we grow a consciousness. I don't want any of y'all to ever feel like that I want to be the star. I'm never going to show my dogs. I promise y'all that. I might show in somebody else's registry to have some fun because I believe we need that unity. But I tell you, the moves that we're making is about education and hoping that y'all can uplift the breed. I hope that myself, I just brought in Sean Gilmore will be coming around. I'm gonna get on the phone with Sean Mullins this week. Me and Oscar Gomez are good friends. Big Val, you know, Carlton Pratt's, you know, of course I got the Godfather, the dog father himself, John Easterly. But we have it, you know, we have it together. You know, I touched on that, then I'll jump right back on. I touched on Big Country, and I touched on Carolina Bully Farms. And nothing that I have to say about them is personal, but what I say, what's going on, Carlo? What I say is I'm trying to be real and from the heart is that Carolina Bully Farms needs to clear up these DNA issues. And unfortunately, what I think is going to happen is that we're going to butt heads because the TBKC DNA tests everything that's going to be bred. And we already have some Carolina Bully Farm dogs. But at the same time, we do research. And so some of these dogs are going to be registered, you know, they're not banned at the TBKC at all. But if there is things that are going on behind the scene, which a lot of evidence seems to be that way by the way that they just vehemently deny taking any kind of DNA test on these dogs. It's going to be exposed eventually. You can't run from these things. I think Big Country he's not my type of dog, but he's a nice looking dog. I haven't gotten a chance to put hands on him, but he's a nice looking dog, you know. But at the end of the day, I don't know how old he was. You know, Carolina Bully Farms, I implore them brothers, and I've been doing it for a while. Man, if you know that you 100, go and shut everybody's mouth and profile those dogs and shut everybody up. But a lot of people, I mean, literally just on my email and people calling me, now I'm up to over 20 people that are calling with complaints and different things and making accusations of them buying litters and hanging papers on this and doing that. And these is 20 different people. And all of this can be squashed by you just flat out play. What's going on, Austin? You flat out plain out saying, you know what, I'm gonna shut all y'all up. We DNA in the whole yard. We put a profile on the whole yard and all y'all can go to hell, you know? What's my opinion on classics? The classic is a true American bully. You know, that's where it started at. Excuse me. I think it's necessary. But I think as a breed, we are I like Bossy Kennels, man. They got some nice ass dogs, man. Just nice ass dogs. I'm falling more and more in love with a lot of the XLs out here. Bossy Kennels is nice, man. I got, y'all see me talking about a couple kennels here that shown me some love here recently, and I got a chance to see their dogs. My favorite big dog out there right now, real big dog, is that dog, the Tank. You know, the Tank is, hey man, that's my guy. I like the Tank. You know what I mean? He had muscle-bound bullies, and I like the big dogs, and y'all gonna hear us make more and more announcements. But you know, with me supposedly having 3 minutes left, I say this, you know, our goal is, whether it's the double XL dog, which it looks like we're coming closer and closer to introducing a class for a double XL, to not only to promote the double XL, but to preserve the XL. We want to keep it right. You know, now going back to what you're saying about the Classic, I think the Classic is a necessary dog. It's been here all the time, but I think we are graduating to a point to where Classics need to be bred to just Classics. If we're going to keep Classics, we'll be heavily in the Midwest. Actually, I'm confirming a show in the Midwest here very shortly. I'm thinking it's going to be spring. I had a date locked up for February 1st, and I start feeling bad about it. You know what I mean? I start feeling bad because it's cold as hell. I'm from Ohio, and from Canton, Ohio, and it's not pretty in the Midwest in February. So we're going to look for March, April. And what we're going to do is this. In the colder weather places, New Jersey, Philadelphia, y'all going to notice. What's going on, Lillian? How you doing? Y'all going to notice that what we do is, you'll notice a flurry of shows. You'll notice these things that, like barbecues or shows that happen like 6 weeks apart from each other. Bam, 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 bam. And then what you'll notice is some downtime in the cold weather. This helps people, you know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm going to change that thing, man. I was actually supposed to pick up the battery, man. It's funny. No one hears it, but everybody else hears it. Like, you get used to it after a while, but you know, the up north shows, I got diverted. The up north shows will be like this. We're going to work on that double XL standard with some real XL people to figure it out. But the Midwest shows are going to be, and the all north shows, we want to give you a bunch of shows when the weather is good, and then maybe come and visit when the weather is really cold. And I mean, and we just understand that when the weather is ugly, we can't do anything, you know. Typically, real cold weather shows have not been really successful. So we want to go ahead and we want to do exactly what we need to do to make those shows better. So, Midwest, to answer the question, we got some things working in the Chicago area. We have some things that are going to happen in Tennessee. Kentucky is one that we got calls on. We'll lock that up. Andrea is in Tennessee, so we'll get that taken care of. Ohio, there will be at least 4 to 5 shows this year in Ohio. 2 of them in the Akron-Canton area. We will be going to whatchamacallit, Dayton also, and possibly Toledo. John Easterly will be in Michigan. He's throwing a couple shows. You know, Lucky, I've talked about Lucky, and I try to get to some of the questions. I miss other ones. I've talked about Lucky. I was impressed with Lucky when I seen him as a judge and giving you an honest opinion. I thought his back was a little long, and I thought his gait was a little bit off as he sort of squats when he gates. I think he would look better if he comes up on his toes and prances more proud. It's like he's almost in a drag, like a pulling motion. But as I said, he has one of the nicest fronts I've seen on an American Bully. Beautiful, beautiful muscle, beautiful shoulders and headpiece. Standards for colors. Well, if you're looking for what colors can be, what colors are, we don't do merles. We don't do all white dogs, you know. That's sort of it, you know. We don't do dogs with, you know, different color eyes or blue eyes, you know. But the merles and the white, especially albinos, those are DQs. You know, you need, I think John said you have to have 20% color on your dog to actually get the dog through. I like outside shows. That's just a personal preference of mine. Outside shows are cool, man. It takes me back to when we were starting this thing. We used to be at like basic parks, and we would be up under the pavilions and different stuff like that. And it was raw, but it was good. Grills popping, people walking around. The dogs didn't fall out because of heat or anything. You know, I know we've graduated to all of these inside shows, but to be honest with you, I really like outside shows. That's personal preference. That has nothing to do with what the show hosts have to do. Show hosts pick their own show venues, and you know. But I do think, you know, y'all notice a lot of the TBKC sponsored events will be outside shows. I like to be outside, man. I like to. It'll be proper shade and things like that. But I do like that old school barbecue feel where we can fill up a couple barrels with ice and have drinks in there, and maybe get the ice cream man to come out for the kids and buy him out, and people really get to being friends again and talking dogs, you know. The way this thing was built was people actually being friends, not competing over money, but we just shared information. We shared information on our dogs, and we really were in a true quest to make a better breed, you know. And unfortunately, that's not happening anymore. Hold on, I think I'm about to sneeze. Didn't work. But it has to be more teamwork. It has to be more. I'm going to make sure that there's some Atlanta shows. Right now, we have not been very successful at getting those, but we will get them, you know. So let me get a napkin. Make sure. Y'all excuse me. Allergies is a bitch, but trust me, you know, right now we have people who've committed to nearly 100 shows, and we're about to jump it off. I know people want me to rush a little more on everything, but it's a hard job, and sometimes I have to show more patience than even I would like. But y'all see shows popping up. I promise you'll see more shows popping up this week coming up. You'll get some announcements. They'll be on our site. As the site, it goes down and up because they're working on it. But when the site relaunches here very shortly, I think it's up now, but he's going to take it down and relaunch it like very fast. And you'll be able to go on there and use our pedigree builder and share. And it's basically like Bullypedia and some of the other ones, but it'll be good, you know. Yes. Inbox me, though. Inbox me, because what we do is we co-sponsor some shows and we allow sponsorship for some shows. So the host is responsible for the ribbons and the place. But if people want to host a show, get with me, because I can help you with cost. I can sometimes even partner up with you on the show, and we can make some nice shows. I understand that shows are hard, you know. Man, Luke, me and you might have to throw a show at OKC, you know, make it happen. But I got a homie out there, my homie Austin, actually kennel partner. So, you know, Oklahoma will be tight. Texas will be super tight. Florida also, and the Midwest. We got some work to do on the West Coast. California. Although I do have good friends out there, we still haven't got any dates set up. So we working on it though. But I know I jump all around. But what I would say, where I started at a minute ago before I jump off here, the classic definitely has a spot in our breed. And inbox me, Kyle. Let's do something. The pocket has a spot in our breed. The standard, the XL, and now it looks like the double XL has a spot in the breed. Now, with all that being said, our ultimate goal in the next 5 years is to those dogs are only to be bred to themselves. We want to stop the inconsistencies of breeding all around. We embrace the classic. The classic is our roots, but the classic needs to become the best classic that it can be, and not just a dog to fix problems with the other breeds. We want to perfect the classic. We want to perfect the pocket. We want to make these dogs the best that they can be. So ultimately, we embrace all of our American Bully breeds, but our ultimate goal is to make them what they need to be and stop all of this intermingling. If you ask us honestly, I know most of our panel and people who make decisions with the TBKC, we agree that one of our biggest problems in this community is the fact that we mix dogs. And it's not just to talk about the paper hangers, but it's the mixing of the different classes. I've seen people literally do pocket to XL breedings a lot. you know, and it's not even the bigger pockets. They'll take a very small pocket and breed it to a bigger dog, hoping that they get a small dog with the bigger dog's genetics for size. All the while, it's like a Frankenstein project because you could end up with anything. It's no consistency to that. So, when we start talking about consistency and making this thing work, it's going to come down to us actually getting down to work and in the nitty gritty, building these dogs up, first of all, from the skeleton, and you'll see our sketches. That'll be the different parts of our sketches. We're going to actually have our sketches done where it starts with the skeleton, moves on to the muscle coming onto, and then the coats. It'll be a process on our sketches, but we want people to understand. If you're starting with your dog, the first thing you do is you look at the skeleton, which is the frame, and you break that down as far as, comparing it to your charts of American Bullies or whatever your breed is. Next comes on the muscle, of which we call, breed type is a lot of what is called in this breed. But does your dog carry enough muscle, enough weight? Then we move forward to the cosmetic parts of it, like the coat. Does your dog have the proper colors? And does your dog have the proper eye set? Then we're moving on to temperament. Does your dog have the proper temperament? And I will tell you this: when I'm judging, you don't have to worry about color. If you are not a suspended color or a a DQ color, I'm not one of those people that I'm going to decide to pick a try just because he was a try. I'm not going to pick a dog that has a half face, even though that's one of my trademarks over here. It's really all about structure, and I want to see that dog perform like an American Bully. I want you to grab that leash. And I'm telling y'all this, and y'all going to wonder sometime why you see a dog and he might be gorgeous, not win. You're going to notice that in our ring, our judges do judge temperament. So if this dog doesn't want to show, if you got to drag this dog, if you got to extra coax this dog, that's not what an American Bully is. An American Bully, although we are saying that they're a companion breed, these dogs are very, very confident. So even when you pick your puppy, pick the confident puppy, because if I'm judging, and I don't want to judge much, I want to watch like everybody else, but if I'm judging, and I know Belinda is the same way, and I know John is that way, we want to see a dog that commands attention. We want to see a dog that's on that leash and looks powerful and looks alert and looks like he owns the ring. Ears perked up, tail perked up, just ready to go. This isn't a very important characteristic in this dog because that shows confidence. It's important for these dogs to be confident because a dog with no confidence is a dangerous dog. You know, it's a dangerous dog. Dogs a lot of times bite out of fear. They don't bite because they're vicious. It's the fear factor that gets them, you know. But I know I didn't get to everybody's question, but as I wrap it up, I'll tell y'all this. This breed is at a breaking point. This breed is at a point to where it could be great or it could disappear. Just because we have registries established, don't think that we're established. Just because you have people that are spending absorbent amounts of money, don't think that we are established. We are not established until we figure out a true look and a true consistency and produce a healthy dog that can, you know, that can really, really go past and transcend anything of the limitations that they put on us right now. Right now, we are looked at as a backyard breed that, you know, a bunch of idiots just threw together with some hopes, which is somewhat true. But hopefully we can make a better dog and we can get to the point to where we're doing this thing the right way. And the only way that's going to happen is through y'all. You know, my old ass, I'm not going to be able to carry a breed. You know, and other people have already shown that they can't carry a breed, you know. And we'll do, brother, we'll do. You know, we can't carry the breed. We need a community to carry this breed and start really respecting the things that are going to make us a real breed. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but communities don't respect breeders who don't respect health. You know, eventually we get a black eye, and we got two of them right now. What's going on, Will? I'm jumping off here, but as I always tell y'all when I end these things, I guarantee you, you got a family member, a loved one, someone that you care about that has not heard from you. And, you know, pick up the phone and give them a call, man. People are going through things. You need to just go ahead and tell them, I love you. Sometimes that one call, you know, you never know. It could mean the world. Hey, Will, send me a text because my phone contacts got all jacked up, and I know it's you. Sometimes I just don't answer the phone because I don't know who it be, and some people want serious long conversations, and I don't have a lot of time. But I'll holler at y'all later, man. God bless all y'all. Keep giving their asses hell on these boards and on these pages about breeding healthy dogs and doing it the right way. Hey, I'll be announcing some things here tomorrow and Monday, and we'll get this ball rolling with the radio shows and all the stuff as normal. I done got settled in, so let's do this. God bless all y'all. Peace.